When creating a brand strategy, you also want to think about how your brand is positioned in the market. You see, when you come to the market, whether it's with a new offer, a new market, you're coming in as a startup, there is a place that you want to hold in the mind of your ideal customers. And most founders and even some marketers don't understand what positioning is really about. You see, positioning is really just holding a place in the minds of a specific group of people. That your company, your offer, the thing that you bring to the market holds a place, a very specific place in their minds. So that when they think about the category that you play in, whether you are a relationship coach, if you are a equipment manufacturer, if you are a remote monitoring company, if you are a financial planner, if you're a lawyer, whatever industry you play in, you want to hold a spot in their minds within that category. That's what positioning is. And so when you come to the market, you're often coming to the market that already has other companies offering something similar to what you do. See, Shift is not the only brand agency that exists on the planet. We didn't come in and create a whole new category. We're playing in an existing category. And so positioning is this act of saying, if there are other people in this market already, other people, other brands or businesses that hold a position in the minds of our ideal customers, which one do we want to hold? Where do we fit within their brains? Do we want to be here? Do we want to be here? Do we want to be up here? What do we want to be known for? This is the act of positioning. It's about the difference that you bring. It's about saying, this is competitor 1, this is competitor 2, this is competitor 3. These are our competitors, and positioning is choosing, this is where we're going to play in the market. So when you go to create a brand positioning strategy to determine this is the position we want to hold and how are we going to get there, how are we going to influence the mind to say, this right here is where we want you to think about us. When you create that strategy, there's 3 keys to doing this well. The first one is you have to make your strategy different. You have to be different in the market. Because when you try to position yourself as the best, when you come to the market and say, we're the best, we're the leading, we're the top in the market, what you're saying is, we're exactly like the competitors that already exist in the market, we just sit here. But when you say, we're gonna come in and position ourselves as different, that we're bringing something unique to the market, now all of a sudden, you're sitting over here. So when they start thinking about your industry and they're like, yeah, everyone in that industry, they're all difficult to work with. All their offers don't amount to anything. We don't really get results. When they think about you, they think the opposite. They think something different. You want to make sure that you are positioning your company as different, not as better. Next, you want to make sure that it is compelling. Your position in the market is more than just, here's who we are. You want to make sure that how you position your company is compelling to your ideal customers. In other words, it matters to them. You see, we could say you're different, but if the way that you're different doesn't matter to your ideal customers, it doesn't matter. I could come in and say, we are the only brand positioning agency where the brand strategist dresses as a clown to do your workshops. That's different. There's no other brand agency where the strategist dresses as a clown to work with their clients. But it's not a compelling reason to buy from us. Your position in the market needs to be compelling. There's a company out of the UK that did this fairly well. See, it's a juice company. And in fact, what they did is position themselves as an energy shot or an energy drink company. Because what they were bringing to the market were shots of juice. Now, you're not going to compete against the companies that give you a gallon of juice. No one's going to buy a shot compared to a gallon. But if you go to an energy category and you say, we are the only company that has natural ingredients in our energy drinks, well, all of a sudden you are the only in a category. It's a compelling reason. It's a different reason. Lastly, it needs to be an experience. You can't just go out there and say, we're the best. You can't just go out there and say, we're different this way and that way. It needs to be an experience felt throughout every touch point, every interaction with your company. Every time they call, every time they see your content, every time they visit your website, every time they interact with your marketing, every discovery call, every outbound email, every time they interact with you, there needs to be an experience. Taking the position that you want to hold in the market and saying, this is how we're going to make sure it's felt in marketing, in sales, in customer support, in finance, in our offer. How do we make people feel this without having to tell them this? When you hit all three of those levels, when you make it different, you make it compelling, and you make it an experience, people will understand how you are positioned in the market. And what will happen is it will be very clear where they're going to categorize you in their minds. Because a brand positioning strategy is not really something you do. It's something you influence. They're the ones that stick you in their brains. But you have to give them a different and compelling experience for them to say, this is the company that's going to hold the space in my mind. If you make your brand positioning strategy those three things, different, compelling, and an experience, you will hold the position you want to hold in the minds of your ideal customers, meaning you will be top of mind when they're ready to buy. And that is how brand positioning actually works.